All right, hey, what's up, guys? It's Roy here, and wanted to do a real quick video. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes on a review of the phone that I've been using as my daily driver for about the last week, and that is of the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE smartphone. So FE stands for Fan Edition. As you can see here, it is the cloud navy color. It looks super sharp. This is my favorite new smartphone color. Originally, it was the OnePlus 7 Pro's Nebula Blue, but I absolutely love this color. It looks really good, especially in direct sunlight. Kind of a matte finish as well. But I picked this up at T-Mobile for $699. Technically, it's selling for $699, but I didn't pay that. So on an EIP, if you trade in an old device, which I did an S9 trade-in, you are getting a $500 promotional credit. That's $100 instant, and then $400 spread out over 24 months of the EIP. Still bringing that phone price down to $199.99, which is insane for this phone. So if you have T-Mobile, go check it out. Do what I did. I went and found a cheap S9 that someone was selling used on Facebook Marketplace, and I paid like 80 bucks for it, and then I traded it in, and I got 500 bucks technically for it. So it's definitely worth that hustle if you want this phone. So with this phone, it is a mid-range flagship, as people are calling it. So it's not a premium device flagship, and it's not a cheapy $350 cheap phone. It is in that mid-range kind of area. The direct competition of this phone are two phones, in my opinion, that are going to be direct competition with it, but they're not out yet. And that's the OnePlus 8T and then the Pixel 5. I wouldn't necessarily consider the 4A 5G direct competition, even though the screen size is close, but specs-wise, it's not. So the 5 and the 8T are going to be the main ones. Now, obviously, the iPhone 12 is also going to be a direct competitor of it, but that screen is a significant small and downgrade in the size. I think it's like 5.4 inches or something like that. It's super small. It might be even smaller than that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But either way, it's not really comparable when you're talking about the bigger screens and stuff like that. But either way, so let's dive into the front. So the front of the phone, you're getting a 6.5-inch AMOLED display. The blacks are really deep blacks. The colors are very vibrant and punchy. As far as the screen brightness goes, you're getting a super bright screen in direct sunlight. I think it's around 1,000 nits if I'm not mistaken, but it looks really good in direct sunlight outside, especially when you're wearing sunglasses. No problem at all with that. Now you do get a selfie punch-out hole, camera punch-out there at the top center, just like the other S20s. It is a tad bit smaller than those punch-outs, but one thing that I have noticed, and when I'm looking at the phone, is there is a kind of like a metal bezel ring around that punch out, which if I can get it in focus here, if you can see it right there, you can see it, just the true definition of that camera punch out there. And I never noticed that on the S20, and I've re-looked at it and I don't see it at all. For even example, like on my OnePlus 8 that I have here, there is the punch out hole, but you don't see it like you do that one. It almost fades in with the black on that phone panel. But you are getting an optical fingerprint scanner ringer there inside the screen itself. It is very responsive. I haven't had any issues with it, so no complaints there. Now, as far as on the back of the phone goes, you are getting obviously the rectangular camera bump out there. It is, and I'll show you if I can get it focused there. You got your Type-C port there. You have a speaker grill there, and then a mic punch out there. On the left side, you're getting the volume up and down, and then your power button. At the top, you're getting another mic cutout, and then you're also getting your SD card and your SIM card tray there as well. It's a dual SIM if you want, but at the same time, you can do up to 1 terabyte of SD card for expandable storage, which I do love. But after everything's said and done, it's a really good phone. It feels really good in the hand. With this, it is a flat display. So with the phone itself, you are getting a flat display there. There's no curved edge. There's nothing like that. That's one thing I do love about this phone is the flat display versus like the curved edge on the OnePlus 8. So getting that waterfall display on the OnePlus 8 versus this, it is a lot easier for one-handed functioning and stuff like that. So you're not getting any accidental touches really or anything like that. And I don't have a case on the phone yet, and I'm not bold enough to go naked on a phone. I do love this color. I don't want to cover it up, but there is no phone cases really out that I can get my hands on yet. So I'm kind of waiting till the end of the month to get it. But at the moment, I do love just having this and just the slimness of it. It is 190 grams. So versus the iPhone 8, whoops, sorry, got a sticky note stuck there. So versus the iPhone 8 there, this is 180 grams, this is 190, and it is a little bit thicker on the edges because of that flat display, I believe. So, but it does, once again, feel better in the hand versus the OnePlus 8, in my opinion. But I'm not doing a versus review here by any means, but there we go with that. So as far as the cameras go, you're getting a 32 megapixel selfie camera on the front. Does really well. On the back, you're getting the 12 megapixel wide angle lens, a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and then an 8 megapixel telephoto lens. They do really good. The cameras compared to the S20, in my opinion, look almost identical. I've owned both, and I can't tell a difference. I do like that it's like the newer technology versus the S10. So you do feel like you're getting that premium flagship camera in a cheaper body phone, because when I'm doing selfies or taking pictures and I turn off like the skin smoothness and all that, the cameras look very natural looking as far as the pictures it takes, versus like the S10, they were very saturated and very color boosted. And so I do like that this phone does have that version of the camera versus going a step in the back to like the S10's cameras. You are getting only a 3 times zoom with that telephoto lens, but you can do up to 30 times zoom with the space zoom. It does an okay job, but if you're trying to like zoom in on someone that's, you know, across the football field or something to you, it's gonna be able to do it, but it's not gonna look good. It's not usable footage or pictures that you would want to like print out, but it is nice to say you can do it. Low light performance has been stellar. I haven't had any issues with it. When I do the night mode, it does just fine. Obviously, the king, in my opinion, are the Pixel devices with those, but this one is a close second. It does look really good at night. Now, with the video footage is very good as well, very similar to the S20. I don't really know if there's a difference, to be honest with you. Their stabilized footage is very great. As far as the normal video stabilization, if you slap on the super steady mode, then you got even more steady, almost gimbal-like footage. But all in all, the camera does really good. It can record up to 4K 60 frames per second on the rear camera. And bonus, it can do the same on the front-facing camera. So that is awesome with a smartphone at this price range, that you're getting 4K 60 on the front and the back. So that's really cool. Now, as far as the charging goes, it does have the ability to do like the 25 watt super fast charge that you can do like on the S20s. But out of the box, you're only getting the 15 watt charger like you used to get out of the S10 lines. So on that, you're only getting the Type A to Type C. But with anyone that's had an old Samsung device, you can use any of the bricks and you'll get at least fast charging going on it. I've used my Pixels brick and it does the same as far as fast charging goes. You do get a big 4500 milliamp battery with the phone. It does last all day. I haven't had any issues with battery. I have noticed that if you are a heavy user, it does drain a lot faster, it seems like, but I have not had one issue where I did not get through the whole day. Usually I'll start my day like at 7:38, and usually I'm a night owl. I might go to bed at midnight, and that's when I usually have to probably plug it up. I do tend to charge my phone overnight almost every day, so it will at least get me through a whole day like that. So I haven't had any complaints at all with the battery. Now, some of the complaints though that I do have is that with the phone, it's only a 6 gig RAM variant. There is an 8 gig one out, but it is 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. So the 128 gigs I'm fine with. The 6 gigs of RAM I'm not. I understand that it's a mid-range flagship, but I would have liked to seen that it at least had 8 standard. Is there an 8 gig that's circulating out there that you can get? Absolutely. You can buy that, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. But if you buy it from T-Mobile, at least, you are stuck with 6 gigs. Is it a deal breaker? Not at all. But when I'm doing multitask like functions on my phone, I have noticed a little bit of a lag, but it's not a deal breaker at all. Like I said, it's really rare that it happens, but when it does, it's like at the most inopportune time, unfortunately. But not at all is it a deal breaker. It's still super snappy. You got the 865 Qualcomm Snapdragon chip in it. It is super snappy. It's very responsive. I typically go into the developer option settings and decrease the animation a little bit to 0.5 to just get that little bit more responsiveness out of my phone, and it does a good job. So all in all, the phone is a fantastic bundled piece of just smartphone or Samsung, whatever I was trying to say there. I'm not sure exactly what I was trying to say. But in the 7 days that I've had the phone, I have truly fallen in love with the phone. I have no complaints, really. I mean, there are some, but there's not major complaints. I mean, if you're going to be nitpicky and compare it to the S20 or like an 8, OnePlus 8 Pro or something like that, yeah, there's going to be things, there's going to be shortcomings with the phone. But for $699, I think this phone does a really good job with a lot of different stuff. And yes, the back is plastic, so I guess that is a complaint, but it doesn't feel plastic. It doesn't feel bad at all. It feels really good in the hands. One thing that I think is pretty cool is even though it is plastic, you can do reverse wireless charging on the phone. So you can wireless charge it and reverse wireless charge it. So that's pretty cool that you got a plastic back and you can still do that as well. So all in all, 2 thumbs up on this phone. Comment down below and let me know if you have the phone. If you do, I'd love to hear from you and let me know what your complaints are. I might have missed a couple of things, but I did try to keep it short. It looks like I went over a couple of minutes of my time that I had in my head of 10 minutes, but is what it is. But yeah, guys, let me know. If you like this video, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you can get up-to-date content. I try to do a video at least once a week. I think my next video that I'm going to do is probably going to be a direct competition between the 2 phones, between the S20 FE and the OnePlus 8 that you can get from T-Mobile. So I might do a video with that. It is IP68 water resistant as well, by FYI. I did forget to say that. So you are getting water resistance with this phone as well. So be safe out there, guys, and have a blessed day.